Thank you, 73. So this is K for Sugar Victor.
Whiskey 1, November Radio Golf.
Whiskey 1, November Radio Golf. Please copy 2 Alpha in South Carolina.
Roger, copy 2 Foxtrot, Charlie Tango. 2 Foxtrot, Charlie Tango.
Thank you, 73. K for Sugar Victor. Secure field day.
Whiskey 2, November Papa Tango.
Whiskey 2, November Papa Tango. Please copy 2 Alpha in South Carolina.
All right, let me welcome you to Field Day. Field Day 2019, which is one of the highlights in the amateur radio world every year. And who's this first field day? First field day. Okay, get ready, because it's something that just is a lot of fun. It's really interesting. You meet lots of people. You learn new things. What happens on the air is a lot of fun. There are tens of thousands of people doing the same thing that you are today. And they're all in the same boat. So have fun. So the main thing about this is to have fun. Don't get all hung up on, it's a contest. And if we don't do it right, we'll never understand it. We're going to go over the basics of it. It ain't that difficult. So we're going to go over the basics of it. We're going to practice. So you're going to be on your feet or tucking across the table, ham radio stuff. Okay? Me standing up here going wah, 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 wah is not the point. We're going to try to simulate being on the air here in the room. So what you're going to do when you leave this session, you're going to have a very good idea of what you're going to say when you're on the air, what you're going to hear when you're on the air, and how you're going to record it when you're on the air. And so we want you to leave here comfortable that when you go over and operate, you go, okay, I can do this. A little nervous, but I can do this. So that's the purpose of this session. Also answer any questions. So any questions that you have about anything ham radio related, happy to answer. And again, practice, practice, practice. So let me ask you a couple questions. First time field day, I got that. Who's operated a contest? Okay, who has not operated a contest? Okay. Let me ask another question. Who here knows how to say my call sign phonetically? That you're comfortable with phonetics. Alpha Golf 3 Romeo. Because we're going to be using phonetics. On sideband, you use phonetics. To say AG3R on sideband, guarantee you 50% of the time the person on the other end isn't going to recognize it. When you say AG3R on sideband, it's just one of those calls that just doesn't come across. Alpha Golf 3 Romeo comes across. All right, so phonetics we're going to work on. Now I have a phonetic list. If anybody needs a phonetic list, I have phonetics. Okay, so the newbies, all right, so just hand those out as you need them. I don't have enough for everybody, so if you know your phonetics, don't take one.
It's just the military.
It's the military, yep. You will also find less common usage. Start with this. So, for example, our station at Field Day, what's the call sign? Does anybody know what it is?
Kilo 4 Sugar Victor.
Kilo 4 Sugar Victor. Notice there's no sugar on there. Okay? It's Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Dave likes to use Sugar Victor. I would stick to Sierra Victor till you're comfortable, because what you're going to hear is Sierra. So when you hear Kilowatt 8 Sierra Victor Tango, it's going to be Sierra Victor Tango, not Sugar Victor Tango. Okay, so I would use the phonetics. You'll hear people do cute things like, oh, let me think of a W7 Bravo Bravo. He might go W7 Bad Boy. Great, thank you. Next. And it won't come across as well as Bravo Bravo. But stick with these phonetics when we practice in the room, okay? Now, in front of you, you have a pad of paper and you have 3x5 cards. The 3x5 cards are for you to take with you to the station. The pad is for you to take to the station as you're copying. We are not using computers in this session. We're not going to teach typing. We're not going to teach you how to log. That's not the point. That's a separate skill. It is a completely separate skill, computer logging. We're not going to do it. What we're going to work on is the sideband exchange. So, our call sign is what now? Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. In field day, there's two other parts of the exchange. Class, transmitter class, and section. Our transmitter class is what? 2 alpha. Write that down. That means what?
2 transmitters on emergency power.
2 transmitters on emergency power. I've got a handout here that you can look at all the different classes. 80% of the time you're going to hear alpha. You might hear 1 alpha, 2 alpha. There are even crazy clubs, 27 alpha. I think one year was 27 alpha was the record. 28 alpha. I can't even figure out what stations they had to make 28. I have no idea how they did that. So transmitter class, you can look at this. There's class A, B, B, C, D, E, and F. So there's going to be a number before it and then the letter. Okay? Now, that's the first part of the exchange. The second part is section. What is our section?
Sierra Charlie.
Or South Carolina. Okay? South Carolina. So our whole exchange is what? Kilo 4 Sierra Victor 2 Alpha South Carolina or Sierra Charlie. So everybody again. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor 2 Alpha South Carolina. Write that down. I would also write it down on one of the cards so you can take it with you. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor 2 Alpha South Carolina. That's what you say. Oh, sorry, I stole your pen. My apologies. Okay. Now, I want to hand this out, if I could. I don't have enough, so maybe share them with the person next to you. And you can copy these down. There's not a lot on here, but you can copy it down. Okay, the key with sideband is efficient use of words. It's very simple. What we don't want to do is use extra words. We don't want to use extra words. So the sheet I handed out, when you call CQ, when you call for other stations to answer you, notice what I have. Somebody read that off for me. What is on there? Yep, so go ahead and read that out loud.
All right, CQ field day, CQ field day. This is Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, field day.
That's it. That's all you say. No more, no less. And you keep repeating it till someone comes back to you. That's the most efficient way to call CQ. Don't get tricky. Don't, just call it that way. Now, why? The reason is when people are tuning around listening to you, they're tuning over you. If they hear you efficiently, they'll call you. If they don't hear you efficiently, they'll tune by you. It's real simple. That's all you say on CQ. You don't have to say, this here is Kilo 4 Sugar Victor in the great state of South Carolina. The weather here is hotter than you know what, and I'm looking for people to call me. They'll tune right by you. Okay? Just keep saying it. CQ field day, CQ field day. This is Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, field day. CQ field day, CQ field day. This is Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, field day. Pause. Now, the mechanics of this. You're going to use a foot switch. Who here has never used a foot switch? Okay, the way it works, I'm showing you here. This is on the floor. You got your headphones on. You got a microphone. The microphone doesn't work unless you push this with your foot. It's as if you had a microphone in your hand that you would click, like that, but we use our foot. So you can write. Because you got stuff in your hands you can't write. So, when I want to transmit, watch. CQ field day, CQ field day. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Field day. CQ field day, CQ field day. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Field day. When you got it down, you can't hear anything, and anything you say goes over the air. So be aware of that. So when you sit down, you'll be sat in front of the rig, and this will be on the floor. I'm just simulating it here. Any questions on the foot switch? CQ field day, CQ field day. Kilowatt 4 Sierra Victor. Kilowatt 4 Sierra Victor. Field day. CQ field day, CQ field day. Kilowatt 4 Sierra Victor. Kilowatt 4 Sierra Victor. Field day. That's it. Questions? Okay, now the interesting part. Somebody comes back to you. So look at the sheet. If they know what they're doing, they're going to say, Kilowatt 4 Sierra Victor. This is Whiskey 3 Sierra Kilo. Whiskey 3 Sierra Kilo. Now you have to say something. We do the exchange. That's when you give the exchange, which is your call sign, transmitter class, and section. Come on in, have a seat. So you're going to say, Whiskey 3 Sierra Kilo, this is Kilowatt 4 Sierra Victor. You are 2 Alpha, South Carolina. QSL. What does QSL mean? Does anybody know? Do you copy me? Did you get the information I sent? Or I copied you, okay. So, QSL, question mark. QSL means I copied it. That's it. No more. Okay? So, questions? It's really kind of simple. What's interesting is to hear it. Because band and the signals fade and move around and what have you. So, let's practice this. All right. In order to practice, you've got one card that has the information on it, right? Kilowatt 4, Sugar Victor, 2 Alpha, South Carolina, right? You got that card? Everybody has that. Okay. On the next card, 3x5 card, I want you to make up a ham radio call. And I want it to start with a W, and I want a number. I don't care what the number is, from 0 to 9, and I want 2 letters after it. That's called a 1x2. So I want you to make up a call, W, with some number, with 2 letters after it. Everybody got that? Not 3, 2. And then I want you to make up a transmitter class from 1 to 4 with an A. Don't care what it is. Could be 1A, could be 4A, I don't care. And then I want you to make up a section. All right? Now, here's the section list. Pass these down and share them. Those are all the sections you might hear. So we're using South Carolina. There are a lot of other sections around the United States. With Field Day, you're going to work everybody around the U.S. That's what's cool about Field Day. What's neat about Field Day is everybody operates pretty much low power with antennas like we have. So we're not going against the big guns, the guys with the big towers and 1,500 watts. They're really not a part of Field Day. Now, they show up after church on Sunday. So Sunday morning about 11 o'clock, they'll start showing up. They get back from church, flip on the big rig, and they try to work a little Field Day. But they're not, they're just playing around. Okay? So pick a section. Doesn't matter. What it probably would be best is if you picked a section of the number you put in there. So if you did a 7, pick a section under the 7s. See the 7? So you got 1 through 0 there. It makes it kind of interesting. So if you did a, let's say a W4, pick something out of the 4s.
Do you have any more of those sheets?
Share them if you would. I didn't print enough.
Pete, you may want to tell them too, the states like New York and California may have November Echo or something like that. I forget.
Yeah. We'll go. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I don't want to go through it too much, but because I want to get a practice here. Yeah.
It's kind of weird, but it's
Yeah. Yep. And on sideband, it's interesting. Okay, has everybody got a call? So I want a W call with a number, 2 letters after it, make up some kind of 1 through 4A, and then pick a section. Okay, everybody got that done? All right. This side of the room, you're going to be kilowatt 4 Sierra Victor. That's who you are. That's your call. This side of the room, you are the call sign you wrote down on the 3x5 card. You're pretending to be that station. You with me? Everybody with me? To the person across from you, I want the Kilo 4 Sugar Victor to call CQ. So you're all going to be yelling at once, just like sideband. It's going to be noisy. The person across from you is going to answer you with their call. They're going to say, Kilowatt 4 Sugar Victor, this is whatever your call sign is. All right, so, and then they're going to come back with their call with the report. They're going to say 2 Alpha, South Carolina, QSL, and you're going to give your report. Okay? And you're going to exchange it. Any questions before we do this? Any questions? Yes?
Are we using sugar or Sierra?
Up to you.
Okay.
Up to you. Ready? So Kilowatt 4 Sierra Victors, ready, go.
Whiskey 2 Sierra Golf.
4 Sierra Victor. This is whiskey.
I think start here.
Romeo.
Roger. 4 Alpha 7.
Whiskey 3 Whiskey Romeo, Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. You are 2 Alpha, South Carolina.
So Whiskey 3 Bravo Zulu.
Why are you saying you are? Why are you telling me what I am?
That's just the way we're always done it on the field.
Okay. So you're identifying as...
Oh, okay. This is Kilo 4 Sierra.
Okay, try it again.
You are 2 Alpha.
You are this call.
Okay.
You are Kilo 4 Sugar Victor. Call CQ.
Ask about
You guys missed the beginning here. Sorry about that. So you're going to call CQ.
Field day, CQ field day, Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, field day.
Whiskey 3 Bravo Zulu.
How'd it go?
This
How'd it go?
Bravo Zulu, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, you are 2 Alpha. Eastern Pennsylvania, that's one of those states.
Oh, that's an example.
Yeah, that's an example.
Whiskey 3 Sierra Kilo. You are 2
You are 1 Alpha.
Delaware.
Because that's
Delaware or Delta.
saying, is there anybody up to the next? So in other words, you just work him, and you go QRZ.
Whiskey 3.
Okay. All right, what challenges did you have?
Inserting the variables from the thing 9132.
Right, so because you got what's in your paper, your Kilowatt 4 Sierra Victor, but then you got this stuff coming from him, right? Did you write it down?
I tried to.
Okay, that's the skill. When somebody comes back to you, you've got to write it down. You don't try to remember it. That's why you have the pad. So, what you're going to take away from this is when the station comes back to you, write it down. Don't try to remember it. If you can't see it in pen and ink, you're probably not getting it right. Okay, so what was his call when he came back to you?
Kilo 4 Sierra Victor.
No, what was your call that you were pretending?
Whiskey 7 Oscar Mike.
Okay, you should write down Whiskey 7 Oscar Mike and then whatever the exchange is. That's what the pad's for. So you're going to take this pad with you and a pen, and when you operate, you're going to write on here, write it clear enough to you can read it and maybe somebody else, typically on one line. Okay, and then just work your way down. Don't worry about logging. We're not talking about logging yet. And, you know, rip it off, do another paper, whatever you need. Write it down. You can't remember it. Guarantee it, you can't remember it. I can't. So let's do it again. You ready?
Yeah.
Call, all right, everybody watch now. Everybody watch.
CQ field day, CQ field day. This is Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, field day.
Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, this is Whiskey 7 Oscar Mike. Whiskey 7 Oscar Mike, over.
Whiskey 7 Oscar Mike, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Let's you can tell me what your class was.
Not yet, you've got to tell me.
2 Alpha Sierra Charlie.
You tell me.
Okay, this is UR 2 Alpha.
I'd never go to the UR. I'd say
Please copy.
All right, 2 Alpha, South Carolina, QSL.
QSL, UR 3 Alpha, Utah. You say QSL. Then what do you do?
QRZ from Kilo 4 Sierra.
You got it.
Just confirming people in our correct line.
Exactly.
Yep. Questions? I know it's confusing, but let's get it. It's a rhythm. Okay, this is a rhythm thing. I can't, if those of you are musical, it's completely a rhythm. If you watch me or anybody else on sideband, you're listening to the rhythm. Their rhythm is not the same as your rhythm. But boy, when it happens, it's just binga, binga, binga. Just goes, goes, goes. All right, let's do it the other way. I want this side of the room. You are Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. So get your card ready, get your pad ready to copy what you hear. This side of the room, you've got that call made up, right? That W call, 1 by 2. You've got a class and you've got a section, correct? That you're going to give them when they call CQ. You ready? All right. Kilo 4 on this side. Whoever else on this side. Ready? Go.
Kilo 4 Sierra Victor.
Kilo 4 Sugar Victor.
Kilo 4 Sierra Victor.
CQ field day, CQ field day. This is a Kilo 4 Sierra Victor.
Whiskey 1
I'm starting
Alpha.
over. CQ field day.
South Carolina.
CQ field day. This is Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Field day.
This is Whiskey 7 Alpha Bravo.
QSL.
W3.
QSL.
No.
Kilo 4
What's
Sierra
W?
Victor. You want to do yours?
W. Whiskey.
CQ Field Day, CQ Field Day.
Whiskey
Kilo
4.
4 Sugar Victor. Kilo 4
Whiskey 4 Sierra Kilo. This is Whiskey 4 Sierra Kilo.
Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. This is Whiskey 9
Whiskey 4
Kilo.
Sierra Kilo.
Whiskey 7
This is Kilo
Whiskey 9
Kilo 4 Sierra
Please
Victor.
copy. Kilo 4
You are
Sierra
Alpha,
Alpha
South Carolina.
Charlie.
My apologies for my words. Now that I'm thinking about it, you're absolutely right. Don't use UR. Say, please copy. Well, you know, you're sitting at a typewriter, right?
Right,
And just,
yeah,
you know, you're just like, okay. Okay, how'd it go? Did it go better? So, where I said UR, cross that out and say, please copy. My fault.
Okay.
I did it late at night and I just was winging it.
For the UR that you crossed out.
Yeah. Please copy. Thank you.
So each person only says their class and section once.
Correct.
And I'm not confirming back to you your class and section.
No, do not repeat.
I know.
And I'll talk about that.
Unless there's noise and you can't.
I'll talk.
Say,
I'll talk about that. It's down there. Okay, that's the most efficient way to do it. Don't use other words. I can't stress it enough with sideband because people get I don't know, they get kind of...
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. You have a good one. Good luck in the rest of the exercise. By the way, you know, will you contact me down on 40? We're operating on 40 all
Right.
day. It's irritating.
Okay, so just, that's it. Now, the person on the other end, they want it efficient. So it feels kind of rude, but the person on the other end wants it that way. Also, there are 3 people listening to you. If they see you do it efficiently, they'll hang around and work you. If they see you wasting time, they tune away. Now, when you tune away, it takes quite a while to get another station. On sideband, it's worth them sitting there and listening to you work 2 or 3 people efficiently. They'll stay there. That's how you get a lineup of people. Also, be consistent. Use the same words. Then, when they probably already have you in the log, all they're doing is repeating it very quickly. They know what it is. Just say it. Okay? Just say it. Questions on that? It's a rhythm thing. If you're saying anything more than what's on that paper, okay? Sure.
This is specific to field day, right?
Field
If you're
day.
sitting there at night, you wouldn't have to be.
Oh no, conversation? Oh no, no, we're not. We're talking. This is called a contest, and I'm sorry. We have a person who's brand new, very interested. A contest has a very specific set of information, and what we're attempting to do is talk to many stations in the U.S. as we can in 24 hours. Sorry, my apologies. Okay. Questions, concerns?
So if I'm looking for a station to call CQ, do I just tune until I don't hear anybody?
Okay, we are not into, that's called search and pounce. Search and pounce is a skill. In field day, you'll waste all your time looking. I'll guarantee you will work less than 10 people in an hour. If you hold a frequency and call CQ, you can easily work 50 people an hour. Easily. We are not into searching and pouncing. So, there will be coaches at the station to help you. It is possible you can lose your frequency. Somebody just, it's a contest, and they kind of come along and they go, boom. Okay, this is Alpha Alpha 3 Bravo, Alpha Alpha 3 Bravo contest, field day. Okay, you get kicked off the frequency. Welcome to contesting. So you might have to tune a little bit to find a new opening, but it's better to look for that and start calling CQ than to search and pounce. Can't, I just... So, because field day, everybody's equal. So a big contest, like a big, huge contest, everybody around the world, my station, I can't hold a frequency. Can't. So I search and pounce. But that's this big, huge contest, and I'm just playing, I'm a little pistol, right? I'm not trying to win it. Here, everybody's the same. We're number 1 in South Carolina. We're number 3 in the country, or 4 in the country. 3 in Roanoke, and countrywide we're, I can't remember. 15? Which is one heck of a, do you know how many 2 alpha? It's the biggest category. We're 15th in the nation.
So when you're picking a frequency to call CQ, is it any frequency, or does it have to be a multiple of something?
No.
Just any frequency?
Any frequency.
In the band. In the band. And there'll be a coach there to help you. Okay? Questions?
Hey, when we find an empty spot, just help my memory here, do we call frequency in use or QRL or something like that, or do we just go?
It depends upon you. I tend to say, is this frequency in use?
And by this evening, if you find empty spots, you better tag it, because it won't say anything very long. Yeah, like I said, you'll do.
Okay, if you look at your sheet there in the exchanges, I've got down there asking for fills. if you look down, so if you didn't get their call sign, didn't get their section, didn't get their transmitter class, that's how you ask for it. Need your call sign again. Need your class again. I didn't get any of that. Please repeat. Just keep it short and sweet. That's all. You don't need to say, I didn't copy your section. Could you give me your section again? Just need your section again.
If you miss multiples, just say it again.
It feels rude, but it's efficient. That's what the other station wants, is efficient. They're all trying to beat us now. So anybody in South Carolina in 2A, we're the king of the mountain here. So it's good stuff. So those are how you ask for fills. Okay? And then I've got Q signals down there that you can help, that'll help you. So, CQ field day, kilowatt force, sugar Victor, kilowatt force, Sierra Victor field day. QRZ. Station again. QRZ. This is Alpha 3 Bravo. It can get messy on the band. So QRZ is one.
Are we going to use our own call sign?
Never.
Or are we going to use Kilo 4 Sierra Victor?
Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Except on the GOTA station, right? Yeah. And are they using?
November Yankee.
4 Alpha. Or Golf, sorry. So on the GOTA station, which is get on the air, you'll use November Yankee 4 Golf. And he'll tell you, he'll have all that set up for you. If you have not been in a contest before and you're not active, make sure you get on the GOTA as well. Everybody here, because we get great points for you going on GOTA. Okay? So let's see. QSL, you know, we have it in the exchange. QSL, you come back QSL. You don't have to say, I copy you. Just QSL. QRM, QRN. If for some reason you want to identify what the noise is, you might want to use those. I don't know. QRM is a man-made noise. QRN is static. So tonight, when you're on 80 meters, it's static, baby. Alpha 3. Alpha. You just have to hang in there.
You just keep waiting.
Keep calling CQ.
Even though
All that static, yeah. Yep. You know, you'll see. Somebody will be there.
I hear that, and I think, oh, I'm not going to get through that, so I just give up.
You got to call. If nobody's calling, you can't get through it. Sure.
Do we say South Carolina or Sierra Charlie?
Either one.
Either one.
I like South Carolina because it's got a nice rhythm to it. South Carolina, I mean, you know, that's what I say. And then he goes, need your section. South Carolina, Sierra Charlie. You just don't know what it's like on the other end. You just, on sideband, you just don't know. Now, just so you know, this is exactly the same on CW. It's exactly the same. It's just done in CW. It's exactly the same. And we don't say anything. We just hit a little button and it does it. So when you come to the CW station and you see me going, that's what I'm doing. Now, logging. I do not want you logging. Don't worry about the logging program. Someone else will do that for you. Maybe one of you is comfortable with that. You might want to log for somebody. Get the coach to show you how the logging program works. I have a handout. I'm really not going to go over it. There's probably an extra one around. I wasn't going to go over the logging program. It's not complicated, but so here's my suggestion. You got your pad, you got your pen. If you're right-handed, put it on the right. The computer and the logger are to your right. When you hear a call, write it down and then get the exchange. Okay, get their class and their section, write it down. Do not ask the logger to help you. So here's the worst case. Gary, you're going to be the logger, the poor one, okay? CQ field day, CQ field day. This is Sierra Victor, kilowatt 4, Sierra Victor, kilowatt 4, Sierra Victor field day. Did you get that?
No.
Alpha 4, question mark. Alpha 4. Did you
I think it was Quebec.
It was Quebec?
Or maybe Bravo?
Bravo. Alpha 4, are you Quebec? Okay.
I think it was Yankee now.
Okay.
I don't know.
Guarantee you, he's going to hear something different than you. Now, on CW, watch us down on the CW station. If you want to totally screw me up, just come on over. Listen to somebody slow. You know, somebody comes back nice and slow. All right? So like W4AB comes back, and while I'm typing, go, it's W4AB, and I'll miss it. I'm the operator. I don't need to listen to you. I got enough going on, you know, through the speakers in my headphones. So the logger, log, copy it off the pad. The person with the pad and the microphone, get it till you get it. Stay on it till you get it. Don't ask for help. You'll get it. It's okay. The person on the other end is okay. They're nice people. Hams are nice people. Nobody's going to say, hey, you idiot, I've told you 3 times. Would you please get it right? That doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. It doesn't. Maybe North Jersey, 2 in the morning when he's had too many beers. I don't know. Okay, so the operator gets the call, the class, and the section. The logger just types it in the program. Questions on that? Because really, you start asking, what did you hear? You'll be discussing that QSO for a minute. And meanwhile, the guy's like, I'm out of here.
When you say class, you mean number?
Yeah, that number. Yeah. 2 alpha, 4 alpha. Yeah. 1 delta, 3 echo, 2 foxtrot. Okay, it's that number. Okay? Questions? Questions? All right. Now, on your card of call signs, the fake ones now, the ones you're going to pretend you are, I want you to write, did I ask you to do 2 of them or just 1 of them? Just 1. Okay. I now want you to make up a call sign that begins with the letter N and some number and 3 letters. Begins with the letter N, a number from 1 to 0, and then 3 letters. Any ones you want. Then I want you to make up a transmitter class, an alpha transmitter class, however many you want to do. And I want you to pick a section. And off your sheet, try to make the section match the number. So if you pick 0, pick something out of the zeros. If you did an 8, pick something out of the 8s. Because very typically a field day station, very typically the number matches one of those sections in that category. Very typically. Okay, everybody got it? So you have a call that begins with an N. It's got a number, 3 letters. You've got a transmitter class, and you've got a section. Everybody ready? Okay, we're going to simulate again. This side of the room, you are kilowatt 4 Sierra Victor. This side of the room, you are that call you just made up. Ready, set, go.
Number 7, Echo Charlie Romeo. Number 7, Echo Charlie Romeo.
Wait, no, that's me. Oh, wait. Oh, that's you. Sierra 4.
QSL.
Calling me. Call sign.
CQ field day, CQ field day. This is Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor field day.
Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. This is November 1 Alpha Echo Charlie.
So I am 7 Alpha.
Alpha what?
November 1 Alpha Echo Charlie.
This is November 7, Charlie November 7, Alpha Charlie Victor, Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, field day.
November 1 Alpha Echo Charlie.
K4SB, QSL.
This is
Okay, did everybody get it? Okay, we ready? I want you to switch. So now this side of the room is Kilo 4 Sugar Victor, this side right here. Kilo 4 Sierra Victor. That side of the room, you're going to use that end call you made up. That end call you made up, you should have an end call that begins with an N, has a number, 3 letters, also a transmitter class like 5A or something, and a section. Okay, ready? Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, go.
Field day, this is Kilo 4 Sierra Victor, Kilo 4 Sierra, Kilo 4 Sugar Victor, Kilo 4 Sierra Victor,
November 1 Alpha Echo Charlie. November 1 Alpha Echo Charlie. This is November 3 November 1 Alpha Echo Charlie.
QSL, please copy Alpha South 2 offices, Sierra Charlie. QSL?
Well, she gave me mine. What's yours? Oh, Alpha.
Part of it's going to be just getting our
That's mine. Your class at 1, right?
Call sign again. Call sign again. Class again.
Okay, how'd it go? You getting better? Okay, any questions before we break? Because we got to get ready to get on the air. Just so you know, Murphy tends to strike the last hour before we start. So when we go out there back up to the site, all hell ought to be breaking loose. Something's not going to be working right. And so it'll be all hands on deck here. And typically about 2 minutes before we start, something else breaks. So that's always the fun part of field day, is Murphy. It's just fun. It's like, oh no, I'll drag you into it. It's like, can you hold the other end of this coax? Yeah. You wait, you'll get pulled into it. All right, questions? Any questions before we stop? Any questions? Now, get on the air, get on the go-to station. There are coaches available. Okay? There are people to help you. Get on the air. That's the key. Don't say, I'll watch. And then you watch and leave. If you're going to watch, get on the air. Okay? All right, go to, I think you can make how many contacts? 20? Is it 20? I think it's 20. You can make 20 contacts on GOTA. If you do it in under an hour, you're rocking and rolling, baby.
Get on the air.
Is there something that differentiates you from a regular station versus a GO station so that they understand you're just a newbie? And
Nope. No, they just hear the fear in your voice. That's the problem with sideband. There's a little bit of fidelity to it. So, this is November Yankee 4. They know. Believe me, we know.
We can say that laughingly because we've been there.
Oh, we've all been there. All been there.
I still do.
There's nothing you can do that we haven't done. There's nothing you can do that we won't do during this field day. Wait till you hear on CW, I'll get a guy's call wrong, and I'll think I'm right, and he knows I'm wrong, and he tries to correct me 3 times, and I still get it wrong. And he finally goes, he's not going to get it. That's the way it goes. We're human. Have fun out there. Go get them, Tigers. Go get them.